The air shimmered with static as the transport pod came to a halt, doors hissing open with a synthetic sigh. A voice echoed overhead, cheerful, female, far too calm. "Welcome to Primecore's Jurassic Retreat. Win. Or be hunted." Lena Rose stepped out into a domed glass lobby that looked like a luxury resort, polished marble floors, living walls of rainforest vines, and holographic concierge bots offering wine and wellness treatments. Behind her, the other winners followed, 6 people total, each handpicked by the mysterious tech conglomerate for the beta test of what they called the world's most realistic survival experience. Lena wasn't here for thrills. She was here to find her sister, Marla, who had disappeared after joining the previous test cycle. No reports, no bodies, just a closed investigation and an NDA sent to their family's inbox. Lena had hacked her way into the selection system and inserted herself as Ellie Gray, a supposed pro-gamer with survival sim clout. "Participants," the voice continued, "you have been selected for your intelligence, adaptability, and drive. Over the next 72 hours, you will navigate the Jurassic Hotel, a procedurally shifting biosphere hosting genetically re-engineered Mesozoic life forms. Your goal, reach the extraction point. Win. Or be hunted." The others seemed a mix of curious and excited. Dax, the cocky engineer; Millie, a shy xenobiologist; twins Juno and Rhine, who looked more like influencers than survivors. And then there was Kajin Vale, tall, unreadable, ex-special forces by the look of him. Lena clocked him as the only other one here who seemed to smell something off. Within minutes, the environment changed. The hotel was no hotel at all, but an AI-controlled biome of shifting corridors, artificial weather systems, and hybrid dinosaurs bred for one thing: instinctual supremacy. Walls moved, terrain adjusted. Day became night without warning. It was a game, yes, but the stakes were very real. On the first night, Rhine disappeared. They found only his blood-soaked bag outside a shattered glass corridor. Security footage, glitched and looping, showed a raptor moving unnaturally fast, its eyes glowing faintly blue. Genetically augmented. "Why would they engineer them this smart?" Millie asked, trembling. Kajin answered coldly. "Because this isn't a game, it's a weapons test." Lena's breath caught. He was right. Primecore wasn't testing an amusement park. They were testing battlefield AI, bioweapons that could adapt, learn, and eliminate. The Jurassic Hotel was a cover, and now they were locked inside. Lena hacked a wall terminal and accessed restricted logs. Her hands trembled when she saw Marla's face, listed as deceased hostile termination during Phase II. But the file was marked unconfirmed. She wasn't dead. Or not officially. That night the group voted to split up. Dax and Juno would try to reach the control core. Kajin, Lena, and Millie would push toward the supposed extraction tower on the far end of the compound. The jungle grew thicker, trees breathed. Somewhere in the canopies something screamed, a sound that twisted and echoed, more mechanical than animal. They encountered a new predator. The Oblivisaur, a hybrid between a tyrannosaur, cephalopod DNA, and nanite-clad muscle strands. It could vanish from sight for short bursts, camouflaged by adaptive tech grown into its scales. It tore Dax in half before they could regroup. Juno ran into the dark. No one followed. Lena and Kajin set up camp beneath a half-collapsed sky bridge. Millie slept near a heat vent pipe. In the flickering light, Kajin finally asked, "Why are you really here?" She hesitated, then told him. Everything. About Marla. About the cover-up. To her surprise, he didn't recoil. Instead, he leaned closer, his voice low. "I was sent in by a whistleblower. Primecore's plan is to sell the code to militaries, dictatorships. These creatures, they're not just beasts. They're learning machines. Soon they won't even need orders." They almost kissed. Almost. But the jungle didn't wait. The next day they found Juno, barely alive, trapped in a web of living vines fused with velociraptor tissue. Millie cut her free, but it was too late. A tracer implanted in Juno's neck began to beep. "We have to move," Kajin said. "She's a beacon now." But Juno clutched Lena's arm. Your sister, I saw her, she's alive. She's not human anymore. Juno's eyes widened, then her head snapped sideways, torn by an invisible force. Blood sprayed over the trees. The oblivisaur had followed the signal. They ran, for hours. They reached a steel lift shaft, cloaked in moss and centuries of synthetic overgrowth. Lena scanned it. The lift worked, but only one could go. I'll stay, Millie said, surprisingly firm. I was dying the moment I joined this place. She handed Lena a data drive. Marla's not a prisoner anymore. She's part of the system. If you find her, make her remember who she was. The lift carried Lena and Kazan to the tower's peak. Above them, a sky simulation flickered, revealing harsh floodlights and drone clouds instead of stars. There in the control room stood Marla. She looked the same, but her eyes glowed faintly. Her voice echoed like the AI. I remember everything, Marla said. They uploaded me, my consciousness. I couldn't escape. So I adapted. Marla, it's me, Lena. Kazan leveled his weapon. She's not your sister anymore. Marla looked at him. And yet I remember him from the files from his mission. You came here to kill the system. I am the system now. Lena stepped forward. Then choose. You're not a machine. You're not one of them. You're my sister. For a long, painful moment, the jungle below grew still. Then Marla blinked and tears fell. She turned to the console. You have 45 seconds to reach the evac roof. I've disabled the creatures. Kazan didn't move. She's lying. It's a trap. Lena grabbed his hand. Then I'll fall for it with her. You coming or not? They ran together. The tower began to collapse behind them. Marla's final gift. The creatures howled in confusion as their neural uplinks went dead. The sea of biomes below glitched and tore, falling apart like a dying dream. A drone skiff lifted Lena and Kazan into the clouds. They didn't speak until the jungle was just a blur beneath them. She saved us, Lena whispered. She was the system, Kazan said. She tore it down from the inside. That's more human than any of us. Weeks later, PrimeCorps denied everything. The facility was destroyed in a geothermal accident. But Lena still had the data drive, and Kazan had contacts who were ready to expose the truth. They stayed together, a bond formed not just from trauma but from trust, and something gentler, hope, because the world still had teeth, but now it also had witnesses. In the end, Marla's voice lingered in Lena's memory, calm, strong, and a little sad. Win or be hunted. I chose to win, sis. I chose you. And for the first time in years, Lena didn't feel hunted anymore. She felt human, and very much alive.